what is happening, the only thing that's happening is the power of the cosmos is perfectly expressing itself through you and me and the trees and the bees and the galaxies.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Right.
So as that, I'm not in conflict. How can I be in conflict with the world?
You would be in conflict with yourself. Hello everyone, and welcome to the Sahaja Collective podcast. My name is Devdas. It's an utter joy to share this podcast with you today because we have a very old, very beautiful, very dear friend, which is Mark Whitwell, joining us on the podcast. We were able to sit with him while he was in Bali recently, and it's a stunningly beautiful podcast. But the first few minutes, the microphones didn't work very well, so I'm gonna summarize for you briefly and then put you right into the heart of the conversation. So I asked Mark Whitwell, our dear friend, about his teachers, and his answer just struck home so beautifully. He said, if I'm to honor my gurus, the first guru I honor would be my mother. Just like, wow. She set the foundation of love for his life to unfold. And then we began a conversation about Krishnamacharya and Desikachar, who were also two great yogis. We jumped right in with this clip of him celebrating their simplicity. They were great holders, great acharyas, great teachers, great holders of the tradition of the Veda in India, kind of world-renowned. And here he talks about just sitting on the floor with them and having food, and the simplicity in their life and the humility of their life, and how that inspired him on his journey. Watch the full podcast. It's unbelievably beautiful, and we're very happy to present it to you here. There are a few minutes at first where you hear little popping sounds in the microphone. That does go away. So stick with it, enjoy the journey, and lots of love from Bali.
Felt their very real scholarship and sincerity and humility.
Right.
They weren't doing the guru business.
Right.
In their lives. They were doing the teaching business. They were seriously teaching.
Right.
Yeah. I just like that very much.
Right.
One of my early meetings with it was just like, come into the kitchen, sit on the floor, have food with us.
Right. Right.
As ordinary people. Krishnamacharya was there.
Yeah.
On the floor of the kitchen.
Right.
And the whole family, Desikachar and his children and his wife Menaka were there, just sitting on the floor in the kitchen. And these were great teachers,
right,
who were willing to be ordinary people.
Right, right, right.
And frankly, they were a little bit dismissive of the Swami business that was their world.
Right.
Yeah, the guru business.
Right.
Of setting up some exclusive agency, I am the one that, if you come to me, you'll get this.
Right.
If you do this, you'll get that from me.
Right.
This was their business of
there.
And that wasn't there. They were more sincere.
Wow. It's so fun in a weird way to imagine. There's this video, I'm sure you've seen it on YouTube, of Krishnamacharya doing asana practice. And it's just otherworldly. He looks like he stepped out of a different dimension. And, just to hear about the simplicity and the humility. I feel like the yogic ideal, at least in my universe, is a simple life in close connection to nature.
Well, I'll have that, thanks. A simple life in close connection to nature. That would be it, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But, there's Krishnamacharya eating his dal and rice, and
Yeah.
you know, the humility of that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot that I could say about it. Look, in his culture, he was formerly known as an acharya,
Right.
you know, uh, the teacher.
Right.
And this whole thing where the teacher, the avatar, you know,
Right.
Rama and Krishna,
Right.
and others like
Sure.
probably Shankaracharya
Yeah.
and that lineage, they're avatars, and they are God,
Right.
born into that. And then there's the Jiva Mukti, is somebody who sometime in their life becomes free.
Cross the threshold.
Yeah.
And,
But then there's the Acharya, and that's the person who has suffered and then had victory over their own suffering, or had, you know,
wow.
who've gone through the limitations of the life that they were born into and took
Right.
on. And that, so the Acharya is known to be the most useful. Yeah. Yeah. The teacher who has suffered and had victory
Right.
over their suffering is the best teacher, because
Right.
they understand the human condition and difficulties.
Right.
Well, that's not the avatar's job. The avatar's just to be,
Right.
you know, like, I'm here. Right. But the point is that they work in a cultural cooperation with each other.
Sure.
They're all three,
Of course.
Avatar, Jiva Mukti, and
Yeah.
Acharya, and they are turned to each other
Yeah.
in the one.
Right.
And I felt that with Krishnamacharya and his son Desikachar. There was a great humility, not claiming
Right.
anything, not even
Right.
wanting or needing to claim anything,
Right.
but wanting to give the teachings that the avatar required them to do.
Yeah.
And that is, what's the practice for each individual person, no matter who that person is, that's right for them, so that their response to the avatar, their response to Christ Jesus,
Right.
is right for them.
Right.
Not a one size fits all, you know, here's the universal practice that everybody must do,
Sure.
but what is right for this person here, right in front of me here.
Right.
And they were doing that with considerable scholarship from their traditions,
Right.
like real study. They didn't make up yoga.
Right. Right.
They were Vedic scholars,
Yeah.
and wanted to do their best job universally in what they were offering the world, but then their best job for each individual who came to them. I really did feel that. Desikachar and Krishnamacharya did their best job for me personally.
Yeah.
And they did clear up, see, wandering around in the circus of Indian spirituality. Well, I was totally, you know, uncertain.
Right.
And then I met them, and my background is something, you know, my father was a school teacher, so I had some sort of willingness to get an education and study, you know, just straight out of school and university like that. And they appealed to me as teachers,
Right.
teaching something real that I
Right.
was interested in understanding.
Yeah.
And that their teaching helped me understand the whole of India, you know, and all
Right.
the other teachers I'd met, and even make use of those other
Wow.
teachers. Yeah.
Beautiful.
They gave me access to these teachers.
Right.
One, you know, the Nityananda, Bhagavan Nityananda, and Muktananda, and Shirdi Sai Baba, and these great beings
Yeah.
that I'd encountered. I felt their yoga and their whole teaching scholarship that they offered me gave me access to be able to,
Right.
access to Ramana, for example.
Sure.
I started to be able to use it.
Yeah. You know, it's so fun hearing you speak about the sort of simplicity and humility and also the care. And I definitely feel like you fully embodied that. Like, I see your care for every single person who comes to your classes. And I remember one time at Samyama when you were teaching, I came around the corner and you were handing everybody dinner plates. And I was just like, this man's just unforgettably beautiful. Like, you know, he's just having dinner with people. He's the Acharya. Like,
you.
It's
Well, my mother taught me that.
mm,
Yeah.
mm.
Love and care for everybody.
Yeah, yeah. And now we have to shift gears and ask you about this very enigmatic character on the scene of spiritual life, which is UG.
Oh. See, I consider UG the avatar of our modern time.
Right.
What can I say about UG? First of all, he was a deep, dear friend of both Krishnamacharya and Desikachar.
Right.
They were in the same circle.
Okay.
This is how I knew of UG. Krishnamacharya came out of a very patriarchal, male, earnest society
Yeah.
and culture.
Right.
He was quite stern.
Right.
And Desikachar, he said, it was most difficult being with my father because of that,
Right.
the patriarchal sternness in the family,
Right.
the right and wrong, and you should.
Right.
That was his culture.
Yeah.
I'd like to say more about that later. He certainly softened deeply as he got
Yeah.
older.
Yeah.
So I feel no matter what Desikachar said, there was a difficulty there because
Okay.
of the sternness
Right.
of the father. I'm saying that because when Desikachar met Yuji Krishnamurti, he knew that that was Guru right there.
Right.
And he couldn't exactly publicly acknowledge that
Sure.
because he was his father's
Right.
son.
It's a lineage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I saw incredible sweetness. Desikachar really
Right.
loved Yuji, and
Right.
Yuji was just love itself.
Right.
Yuji was the power of the cosmos.
Yeah.
Yuji was like all avatars. He was the unobstructed power of creation. There was no obstruction in him, in the body
Right.
or the mind, from what is the cosmos.
Yeah.
It was a single movement.
Right.
That body there, Yuji, and the total
Right.
cosmos was a single
Right.
movement of power, mystery, intelligence, beauty. And I saw Yuji live that and be that. Unequivocal. He's an incredible human being. So I met Yuji because of Desikachar's love of Yuji.
Okay.
Yeah. I met him very early on in 1973 when I went to Ramana Ashram. And I went and met Krishnamacharya and Desikachar, but Yuji was there. He was still in the side wings of J. Krishnamurti's very large gatherings in Bangalore. So I went and saw J. Krishnamurti and Yuji Krishnamurti in Bangalore.
Okay.
And went to some meetings there with Yuji and with J. Krishnamurti.
Oh, wow.
So there was this circle, you see.
Right.
When whatever happened to Yuji in Switzerland, something happened where everything was cleared out.
Sure.
There were no more. There was no more questions, no more problems. There was the power and the beauty of the cosmos happening there, and something happened.
Yeah.
And by that time, Desikachar was going as the teacher to Jiddu Krishnamurti in Switzerland, go every year. So that's where their relationship was formed.
Okay.
But then at some point, Yuji was saying, look, I'm having some, there seems to be some health issues in this body. Or I'm having difficulty in dealing with this explosion of life.
Of cosmos.
Yeah, it's happened here in this body, like that. And Desikachar said, there's one person who might be able to help you, and that's my father.
Okay.
So Yuji went to Krishnamacharya and requested, would you, here's my situation.
Right.
And he stayed in Madras then for 3.5 years and studied under
Oh, wow.
Krishnamacharya.
I didn't realize that was
and
that long.
did yoga for
Oh, wow.
under the tutelage of Krishnamacharya.
Wow.
And there's the thing, Krishnamacharya loved Yuji because he
Right.
was
Sure.
what he was.
Yeah.
I know Krishnamacharya just loved the student, was very privileged.
Right.
And there were other things like the Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram had acknowledged Yuji by that time
Sure.
as being a Jiva Mukti.
Right.
So there was like, if the Shankaracharya says there's a Jiva Mukti, it's like, but even more than that, there was just the beauty of that man,
Right.
It was undeniable. And
Right.
so they had this relationship of teacher-student.
Right.
So this is how I met Yuji.
Okay.
Yeah.
And this side of Yuji, and this is not a question with any kind of disrespect at all. Like, I understand that Yuji was the power of the cosmos unobstructed, but there was also this very kind of fiery presentation. When you look online and you see, it was just like, quite fiery and a bit almost like enjoying the debate aspect of the Indian spiritual culture. Like, could you share something on that?
Well, you see, he was a natural critique of culture and society that was binding people to pattern behavior and pattern seeking.
Right.
Like the seeking for God or enlightenment is creating the presumption in the person that you're not there yet.
Right.
Even with Ramana, for example, Yuji pointed out that, and Ramana's method was this inquiry of who am I,
Sure.
to go to the source.
Yeah.
You see. But Yuji just pointed out, look, you say who am I? Who is saying who am I? Who's asking that question?
Right.
Every time you ask that question, you're creating the thought structures of the separate self asking the question.
Sure.
So it's completely futile.
Interesting. I mean, I feel like in a weird way, I feel like with Ramana, it wasn't really that his methodology was asking the question, who am I? His methodology was that he died.
At 16.
At 16.
See,
and then having died, he was like, hey, there's like, this is all, like, there is no such thing. Like, I can really come back and stand solid and tell you that what you're all afraid of doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Like, and then he sort of came up with methodologies which he thought would
by
be
others.
Right.
What is your method?
Right.
And he had to come up with something.
Sure.
See, no disrespect here for Krishnamacharya and Yuji. Both stated that Ramana was the real deal.
Of course.
They called him a white spot on a white page of the Veda.
Yeah.
He really is that,
Yeah.
And we say, it's all very well. He went to Arunachala Shiva that's there for thousands of years. That's Shiva there. That's a pilgrimage place for all the saints and sages and rishis of India for thousands of years. Something's there, man.
Definitely.
So that's why Ramana went there.
Right.
And he goes down into the Shiva temple and he says, okay, and dies at 16.
Right.
And that's it. It's over. There's only God. Here's the realization of Vedanta.
Yeah.
Of there is only God.
Yeah.
There's nothing but. And he apparently, it's very beautiful how they say a naked man on the mountain who never left the mountain.
Right.
Purified Vedic tradition.
Yeah.
And made an extraordinary impact in the world. Anyway, back to your original query is that Yuji was a natural critic.
Right.
Not in a malicious way, not in a reactive way. He's just saying, if you're seeking for God, you're creating the persona of the one who's seeking. And just...
Right.
I mean, I've seen him in incredible discussions with... There's one man, Mahesh Bhatt, who's he's a Bollywood famous filmmaker. It's huge in India. And he's a deep, dear friend of Yuji. And Mahesh, they're sitting, it's a video, you can find it. Mahesh is sitting there. And he said, I feel so frustrated. And, he's a well-to-do, wealthy Indian. I'm so frustrated. How do I be like you? You know? And Yuji just shouts back. He said, I see no problem there to Mahesh.
Right.
I have a problem. I see no problem.
Wow.
Then when the avatar looks at you and says, there's no problem here,
You have no problem.
that's the transmission.
You
of
have to, yeah.
God, you know, you've got to take that seriously.
You have to,
yeah.
definitely.
And they would go on this. I mean, it's all sort of fun and games. There was no real anger. Probably Mahesh was probably pretty pissed off. I have a fucking problem, and I want to know how to be free of anger. And Yuji is just saying, with this equal force, there is no problem.
There's no problem.
There. Yeah. You know, life doesn't. The cosmos doesn't come in the form of a problem. And all this religious seeking, of course, creates the problem.
Right. Right.
The idea of God creates the problem in the presumption that I have not realized God.
Separate.
And that's the whole culture of, certainly
Right.
of India and the whole world.
Right.
There's this, and then there's the model of the perfect person that's attained that.
Right.
That implies that everybody else is not. But, you know, we're saying like any form of in life, you and me and the trees and the bees, what is creating this now? What is this? I am that. And Yuji's shouting, see, there's no problem there.
Right, right, right.
It's not something that can be realized through any progressive effort.
Right.
Like meditation or whatever.
Sure.
So this was that fierceness of Yuji that I can swear to you, there was nothing negative
like
or
personal. There was nothing personal in that.
There's one story I have where the great Ramdas, you know, Baba Ramdas, here now. He had a meeting with Yuji.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and Ramdas was Ramdas loved spirituality and spiritual stories and methods, and been lots of gurus and stuff, and he loved expounding on the possibilities of human.
Sure.
Life. And in that meeting, Yuji would just blast it away, like, that's crazy, that's nonsense. And Ramdas said at the time it was like skate shooting, where you put up a proposal, a clay pigeon, and Yuji goes, you know, to every spiritual proposal of becoming, of getting somewhere.
Right.
He would shoot down. And then Ramdas said that. He said, like, everything I say, you shoot down.
Right.
But then he said, in a very sweet voice, he said, but I feel like you wouldn't hurt a fly. Yuji, in his anger, Ramdas said to Yuji, everything I put up, you shoot down, but I feel like you wouldn't hurt a fly.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. And I'll tell you later, I was with Ramdas, and this was some years back, and I wanted to tell Ramdas I'd heard of this, about the meeting.
The meeting,
I wasn't there, but I'd heard about it. And Ramdas listened very carefully, very elderly, he was quite close to his death.
Right.
And he listened carefully to the story, and then he smiled, and tears came in his face. And he said, thank you for telling me about that. He said, yes, he wouldn't hurt a fly.
Wow.
So this is the paradox and the beauty.
Yeah.
He was a cultural critic, a critic of religions of trying to get to God or trying to get enlightened, because it is the act of denial of what's already here.
Right.
What is this? What is you and me?
Right.
Perfectly happening. You, me, and the trees.
Right. Right.
However, there was even though he'd criticize it, there was a sweetness that was doing the criticism.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You know, you quoted something from him the other day, which I had never heard before, that was something along the lines of feeling the pain of the wrongness of society, but somehow not like engaging in the criticism of it. Can you tell us what that?
Yeah, yeah. So one of the statements from Yuji, he said of himself, he said, "I'm not in conflict with the world." What do you mean you're not in conflict with there's this happening and that happening and now there's Gaza happening and shit's going down, there's bullshit everywhere, there's evil everywhere.
Yeah.
And Yuji's saying, I'm not in conflict with the world. But then he's saying that I denounce the world, right? But I'm not in conflict with it.
Yeah.
And he can say that because I can see that he is living in and as the power of creation.
Sure.
He is the beauty of the cosmos. But and so are you.
Yeah.
And so are you, and so are you.
Yeah.
And so is any listener to this, what we're talking here.
Yeah.
What is happening, the only thing that's happening is the power of the cosmos is perfectly expressing itself through you and me and the trees and the bees and the galaxies.
Right.
That's what's happening.
Right.
So as that, I'm not in conflict. How can I be in conflict with the world?
You would be in conflict with yourself.
I denounce the world and I will do anything in my power to change that world.
Right.
I will. If I can fix Gaza and Ukraine, if I could fix Russia, I'd do what I could.
Of course.
And paradoxically, that is what we are trying to do by teaching yoga. You and me teaching. It's in the action, it's the practical action that we can take.
Right.
That we know, this is going to save humanity if it could reach a tipping point and everybody could start being intimate with what life actually is.
Yes.
Not seeking, not in the religious tribalism of my God, your God, my guru, your guru, all that nonsense that's going on. That's what we do.
When do we reach the tipping point, Mark? Everything looks a little to me like it's going the other direction.
I know. Well, it's a total mystery.
Yeah.
But we don't know. I mean, look, what we hold are the yoga tantras from God realizing culture, wisdom, reality realizing culture that were there, that flourished from the 5th to the 14th century. And after the 14th century, everything really turned to shit with colonialism and the gun, with steel.
Right.
And spirituality and religion was just part of that power structure. It's how they organize themselves into tribal grouping and identity of separation. J. Krishnamurti said that if you call yourself, I am a whatever it is, it's an act of violence because you're defining yourself over against everybody else.
Right. Right.
So, you know how yoga is neutral to all of it. Yoga is for everybody of every tribe and guru and faith and world religion. And if yoga is practiced by people within those faith identities, then their religion becomes not exoteric behavior and identification and separation and therefore violence. It becomes esoteric participation in what life actually is.
Right.
What God actually is. So this movement in us to bring yoga into the public and all publics, I get really excited when I hear one of my students is teaching in Russian. There's a woman here in Bali, Shabbat Shakti, she's from Kazakhstan, and she's Islamic family.
Right.
She's a Russian speaker, and she's teaching in Russian. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah.
The tipping point, I don't know. I'd say to Shabbat Shakti, become famous. Quick, teach in Russian, get the job done.
Yeah.
And when this old world perhaps disintegrates, which they might do.
It seems like it's coming.
Yeah, it's got to happen. There'll be people like you and Shabbat there.
Yeah.
And all the Hatha Yoga students and all, there to do the teaching, to be the acharyas.
Right. Right.
This is it's anything about Yuji, I can look back into the traditions of Vedanta, go way back, even 10th century Ramanuja Acharya. I can look and say, oh, well, that's Yuji, he's just like that.
Right.
These basic instructions from the the yoga texts such as practice shanti.
Right.
And shanti means not provoked.
Right.
Not shantihi, definitely not provoked. But om comes first. I'm
Right.
not provoked because there is om.
Right.
This body is om, the body is the cosmos. And the body is in a unitary movement with the total cosmos. So where's the question of being provoked by what's happening in the world? That's the same as Yuji saying, I'm not in conflict with society.
Right. Right.
It doesn't matter, doesn't mean that we approve of, or we do denounce whatever's going on. It's just,
Yes.
All of it, the racism and nationalism and religious fundamental nonsense,
Right.
and the dreadful traumas in the male-female equation that is what life actually is, and what humanity has done with that.
Right.
How they just so cruel to each other everywhere, universally. It's like, there's much action to take relative to it all.
Right.
Yet I am the power of the cosmos.
Exactly.
And so are you, and so are my students. So don't be in conflict. Don't be in a mere reactive mode relative, because it drains your energy. You have no energy to make any actual decent change.
Sure. Like you just bringing up right now this element of the harmony and the masculine and feminine. I know you wrote this amazing book, God and Sex, Now We Get Both. That's the right title, right? And like inside of your lineage or inside of your experience or inside of your teaching, where did that element come from?
Yeah, thank you. See, so this is the Vishishta Vedanta of 10th century Ramanuja Acharya, who was the second great avataric teacher within Vedanta. First there was the Adi Shankaracharya, who said there's only God. If you think there's anything other than God, you're dreaming, you're deluded.
Right.
There's only God. And then along comes Ramanuja, who says, yes, there is only God, but the mind is making a mess of things.
Yeah.
The mind is presuming separation.
Right.
So Ramanuja and that whole culture that followed Ramanuja was a union of the yoga with Vedanta, the yoga tantra. Ramanuja said there must be yoga to deal with the problem of mind that is presuming separation and suffering. He's saying, suffering is real, and there are karmas. Maybe past life karmas, present life karmas. There's something to be done. And it was in that Vishishta, the yoga Vishishta, that made all these recommendations about Om Shanti, practice not provoke, practice samtosha, contentment, practice inquiry into there is only God, and practice satsang, practice good company.
Good company.
Yeah, find your brothers and sisters who are your beloved friends. Your teacher, by the way, your teacher is no more than a friend, no less than a friend, not a status, not a hierarchy, not even a knower.
Right.
A friend.
Right.
Who shares the yoga with you. So prior to, Ramanuja is saying, because everything is God, that culture is saying, everything is God, right? So your intimacy, relationship with anything at all is God realizing.
Right.
Because you are God, if I'm in unity with you, God realization happens. And it could be a mountain, Arunachala, Mount Kailash, your local river, your local garden, your wife, your child, anything that and particularly starting with your own body and breath.
Right.
If I'm intimate with my body and breath, then I look up, I realize with this unity movement of body and breath, the mind follows the breath. And then, so the mind gets linked to the whole body. And it turns out that this consciousness or the awareness principle is the whole body.
Right.
The body is consciousness.
Right.
And then I look up at you and I see you, and there's a unity
You're also
movement
that.
there.
Yes.
Consciousness precedes you,
Sure, sure.
and therefore you and me are in that one consciousness.
Right.
There's one movement there, one energy.
Mm.
So this was what came into Vedanta in the 10th century,
Right.
is to embrace the object.
Right.
Now is the only meditation is the embrace of the tangible object,
Right.
starting with your own body and breath,
Yeah.
and then anything else, literally anything else, including human others.
Sure.
And of course that will also imply intimate relationship,
Right.
male-female intimacy.
Right.
And I always must say, whether that's same-sex intimacy or opposite sex,
Sure,
we're all
sure.
male-female.
Yeah,
We
of
all
course.
came from
Yeah.
the union of opposites. So that is the statement within the Vedanta Vishishta is the two are one.
Right. Right.
Male-female are one thing, not two things.
Right.
You and me are one thing, not two things.
Right.
Even though I'm utterly different from you, utterly
Sure.
unique, I maintain my individuality
Right.
and uniqueness.
Right.
And you have your uniqueness,
Yeah.
utterly different. Yet we are one, in the one,
Right.
the unity movement that is the cosmos.
Right.
So this is the Vishishta Vedanta. So
Right.
this is why we simply put these two words together, God and sex.
Right.
Now we get both. And
Right.
it's a turnaround from the weight of religious methodology, which attempts to go within and away from.
Right.
By the thing that is very popular in the world of residing as the witness,
Right.
residing as awareness.
I was just going
only.
to ask you about that.
Yes, to the experience.
Right.
With the idea is that then you become consciousness or realize consciousness.
Right.
That is the weight within within Hinduism, even within Christianity, which is concentrate on God.
But also, Mark, it's disconcerting to hear you say that, because I think it's also happening in yoga.
Well,
it's like people have been influenced with this thing of I'm just witnessing.
Yeah.
And then literally, I went to an event in Ubud the other day, and I had this very strange feeling looking around the room, everybody's participating, kind of.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing the right thing.
Yeah.
But not one person really felt like they were actually in it.
Yeah.
And I sort of went home and then reflected on that and was like, well, I think that teaching that you are witnessing, which has some element of truth to it, you are witnessing what's happening effortlessly without taking any position or doing anything. You're just witnessing.
Yeah.
But that I am the witness, it kind of puts you in a somewhat frozen, non-participatory state.
See, the yogis weren't doing that. The yogis were embracing the object.
Right.
The tantras was the embrace of what is tangible.
Right.
Starting with the body and the breath. And,
Best place to start.
And this beautiful Ramanuja Acharya put the two together.
Right.
They must be together. So but that's only one lineage within Vedanta. It's the lineage that Krishnamacharya was in. The Guru Parampara of Krishnamacharya held to that principle, that because everything is God, to give yourself to anything whatsoever is God realizing. Anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, to give yourself to your wife is God realizing.
Right.
I've had extraordinary experience with this. A Christian man in Boston, his name is Paul Hoffman. You won't mind me using his name because we did a podcast with Paul. And he's a Christian man battling with his Christian faith, also battling with relationship issues and sex.
Right.
No clarity in that church.
Right.
But he starts doing a yoga, and he still loves Christ.
Right.
And he finds out that this is whole body receiving of the spirit baptism of Christ. Something happens there.
Right.
So he becomes receptive of that beautiful offering within Christian faith.
Yeah.
He's doing this, and 3 or 4 months go by, and he says, "Oh, I've suddenly realized I can love the person in front of me."
Right.
That was his wife. And this whole thing, yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Prior to that, he was trying to love God or trying to love Jesus.
Right.
Maybe there was something there,
Yeah.
but his yoga enabled him to actually come into the singularity
Yeah.
of the one thing happening, which is the total cosmos,
Yeah.
which is the light of Christ happening. But the profound thing that happened that cleared up his life and made him very content was that he found that he loved who was in front of him.
Right.
This receptivity, but also the understandings of this discussion,
Right.
that consciousness and the object of consciousness is one movement,
It's
one
one.
thing, one
Yes.
energy.
Yes. Yes.
He and
yes.
his wife are one energy.
Right.
Before he was kind of ignoring that
Right.
human life, human love, and the
Right.
problem of sex, trying to concentrate on God.
Sure.
And he went to his priests
Yeah.
and confessed his problem, unhappy in relationship. And they said, just try to pray more,
Right.
concentrate, deepen your faith.
Right.
Not very helpful.
No, it's interesting that you say that also. We had a woman in our community who, she touched me very much with her testimony. She said, when I'm sitting alone, the divine love is just totally 100% apparent. It's like I cannot question it. I cannot even imagine that it's anything but utterly, totally, completely here. But it's very hard for me to take it out of that space into the world. And it's like...
There's the problem there. You get to the monastery and forget other people. That's the only solution.
Right.
Or go to the yoga cave, go to the Buddhist temple.
Yeah.
I know. See, it's even in the teaching of Christ Jesus. He said, love thy neighbor as thyself.
Sure.
There it is.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Yeah.
Your neighbor is God.
Yeah. I love from the Indian scriptures, the guest is God.
Yes.
It's just like, cannot be more direct. You have a guest, that's God.
Yeah.
You have to treat them like that. And, being in India for 12 years, you see many examples of people that do. Like when you come to their door, they greet you that way.
It's there, isn't it?
It's there.
You see, Krishnamacharya is saying the union with any object is God realizing. The intrinsic union is already there.
Right.
I'm at one with the sun, already there. See?
Right.
I'm at one with the trees, already there. But he's saying, start with the body and breath. We must start with the body and breath. Is the first the immediacy, This is my life. The living body is happening.
The immediacy, and also in a weird way, it's like, if you don't see it here, will you look out and see it there?
No, that's the point. And then the religious teaching is saying, concentrate on the glory of God.
Right.
God is great.
Right.
My wife, so annoying, distracting me from God.
Right.
No, everything's like that. Or in the East, it's go within, go to consciousness.
Sure.
Reside as the witness only.
Right.
To all experience.
Right.
I've been saying for a long time, that is inherently denying what is witness.
Right. Right.
Yoga says, go to the object.
Yeah.
Welcome it. Welcome the object, including the emotions of fear, anger, pain, grief.
Yes.
They're real. That's God too.
Right.
And very valid biological functions. We should be traumatized in this world, the way humans are living.
Yes.
And we are. And
definitely.
And Yoga says, go to that. Welcome. Not just allow it. Certainly not just observe it. The self-transcendence of these is kind of delaying what we really must do.
Right.
And that is engage, welcome what is really there, including fear, anger, pain, and grief, because it's really there.
Right.
It's not to build an identity around it, but welcome it, because that is God too.
Right.
They are biological functions that need to happen for our own survival. And when their function is done, they dissolve away.
Right.
This very specific thing, welcome, to be with, to not even to be with, to embrace what is there in front of you.
Right.
your wife, me with you, the floorboards, the sun, the trees, you know. Yes, that is the yoga that came in to religious life,
Yes.
and within the lineage of Krishnamacharya that's not understood.
Mm.
What is more weighty and more influential is the Buddhist ideas and the Hindu ideas of
Right.
residing as witness, to
As
reside
witness.
as consciousness.
Sure.
Because there's only consciousness, so they forget. And that's why they treat the world so badly. The world is an
Right.
illusion. Fuck the world. Who cares? Put plastic in the river. Who cares?
Sure.
I'm going to God.
Yeah. That was actually like my own teacher who was just in a profound love affair with India his whole life. Toward the very end of his life, he said, I start to question India because of the way she treats Ma Ganga.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
there is something to it.
Yep.
You cannot be that and then,
And yet Ma Ganga was purifying itself, and its natural movement is an incredible waterway that purifies itself every
Yeah.
3 miles or something.
Yeah. scientists can't figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, that's something to understand, how life itself is
Right.
a purifying movement.
Right,
What I am,
right, right.
a living body, is
Mm,
the river,
mm,
is a flow.
the river of life. Mark, we're so grateful
Thank you.
for having you and sharing your wisdom. I want to wrap up eventually by having you just share with people where they can connect with you and
Thank
how
you.
to do that. But before that, anything else that you want to
Yeah,
add or share?
I'd like to say it's become apparent that there's a lot of misogynism in the yoga
Definitely.
world,
Yeah.
of teachers, both men and women, who are assuming an authority
Right.
and teaching quite very demanding gymnastics,
Right.
and teaching it with a strictness. And I know how this happened. It came from Iyengar, but
Right.
I would just want to say something, that Krishnamacharya was born into a misogynist society
Right.
where the authority of the teacher was unquestioned.
Right.
The authority of the male in the household was unquestioned.
Right.
And he had that in his young life. There are all the students around the Mysore Shala, where he was teaching after his 7 years in Tibet, were young men mainly. And he would teach them with a kind of a strictness,
Right.
like a tough love.
Right.
It's no different from a sports coach in
Sure.
the United States,
Sure.
where you love your young students and
Yeah.
you work them hard
Get them to go.
for their own good,
Yeah.
and for the game on Saturday.
Right.
You know, it's a whole cultural thing.
Sure.
The unfortunate thing that happened out of that is that Mr. Iyengar left at the age of 21
Right.
and brought this toughness into his own teaching, no matter what the age of the person was.
Sure.
There's one thing that happened to Indra Devi, the first foreigner and the first woman foreigner that Krishnamacharya ever taught. And he went in those days in the palace and he said, softly, softly go, move the breath softly with the body. So he taught that, but to the young boys
Right.
who were in the Shakti period of life, the growing period, the view was,
Right.
held sort of diligently by the culture, work those boys hard and you'll
Right.
build strength into them for the whole of life.
Sure.
That was the idea.
Right.
However, that methodology of tough love, that was really quite abusive,
Right.
probably to those boys even back then.
Right.
It was a methodology that Iyengar and Pattabhi Jois took on.
Right.
Very strict, hard work.
Right.
Unfortunately, that has gone into what is the
Almost
yoga
everywhere.
scene, the yoga industry.
Fully.
Even the idea of the teacher as the knower, and
Right.
those who don't know, and it's a power mechanism. The teacher knows, you don't, and so therefore you have power over it. It's a kind of the framework of the world, actually.
Right.
It's also in the yoga scene.
Right.
And it's to be understood. And Krishnamacharya became quite saddened when the news would come from Pune that his nephew Iyengar was being cruel to people.
Right.
He didn't like it at all.
Right.
And the beauty of what Krishnamacharya actually held, everything that we're discussing,
Sure.
that yoga was a deep part of Vedanta and the God realizing life, was not understood and
Right.
never reached the yoga industry.
Right.
What Krishnamacharya, the beauty of his scholarship, that Desikachar did a brilliant work in bringing through in that book, Heart of Yoga, was never became popularized
Right.
in the world of yoga or the world at all.
Right.
And that is to be addressed
Right.
in the yoga scene.
Definitely. Unquestionably.
Yeah. And I feel that this connection to Krishnamacharya was very sad for him when he locked out of his own yoga shala because of the British Raj, the government system changed, and
Right.
and his patron, the Krishna Raj Wadiyar IV,
Right.
the Emperor of Mysore, the Maharaj of Mysore. When that happened, he had to go to Madras with his young family and start teaching yoga privately.
Right.
But he had big ideas for the world. He
Sure.
wanted all the world to know how to adapt yoga to the individual needs of each person,
Right.
according to their body type, age and health, and their culture.
Right.
The yoga went to the ancient world because it was useful for everybody. And he said it can now go through the modern world.
Yes.
And that's what we're working on.
It's a big
You and
job.
me.
It's a big job. But
And Shabbat in Russia, and
yeah.
you in Germany, and me wherever I am.
Yeah.
And thank you for doing that.
Oh, Mark,
Yeah.
it's the greatest privilege. Thank you. It's just such a inspiration to have you here. We're really grateful.
Thanks for this lovely chat.
Yeah.
We've only just gotten started.
Yeah, I feel it too. I feel it too. So, our viewers, where can they find you?
Oh, well, our website is heartofyoga.com.
Okay.
Our next major teaching is in Mexico, in I say in the heart of the Americas.
Yes.
Where north and south are one,
Excellent.
not two.
Excellent.
Baja, California, 23rd of May.
Beautiful.
There's one continent.
Yeah.
This north and south divide must dissolve.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good at the moment, but I think there's more light in the world than there's ever been before.
I think so too.
And I think it's just the boil is coming out.
Yeah.
The shit's coming out.
Yeah.
And to be seen by all of us. And it's like unacceptable.
Yeah, everything has to have the cards up so that you can look at it and say no.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, no.
The public saying no to
Yeah.
that. And that they can say yes to yoga.
Yeah.
We have a beautiful program going, we call the YES Project.
Ah.
YES, Yoga Education in Schools. Now, it's a pilot program. It's going really great in a couple of countries. And we're looking for some Elon Musk or whoever it's going to be to change those algorithms, which will save the world by pumping something decent down into the smartphones that the people can respond to.
Beautiful.
That's what I want to see.
Beautiful.
I'm still waiting for that to happen.
It's coming.
Like Steve Jobs, before he died, got fascinated with yoga.
Autobiography of yoga.
Yeah, and he'd give it to everybody.
Yeah.
Gave it to everybody at his funeral.
Yeah.
But it happened a little bit late. If that brilliant man had got this a little earlier on and used his brilliance to distribute this basic knowledge.
Right.
And we're saying to school children, this yoga is a subject like any other subject.
Yeah, of course.
Maths, literature,
yoga.
Right. Understand it. And the kids are going like this.
Full body participation.
Yeah, and they just feel better at school.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
So that's going to happen.
Yeah.
In our own time, in our own lifetime.
Beautiful. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mark. So grateful.
Thank you. Appreciate you very much.